Exciting delivery numbers. NIO has done it. Almost 13,000 cars delivered in June. I'm really happy about this, as you can see. And by the way, as you also can see, I'm still on the road and traveling. Yesterday I actually had a chance to be at an automotive conference and meeting Mr. Zhang Hui, who is the Vice President of Europe for NIO and the General Manager in Germany. I will be posting actually my interview that I've done with him quickly. The raw footage will be posted on my Patreon. So if you want to watch that, just join the Patreon. That's also a way to support this channel. But this video is now about the delivery results. I'm looking a little bit more into the details here. And well, let me start off with saying that I was kind of hoping to get to 13K, but to be really honest, I was also priming myself to expect 11K, so the lower range of the guidance. If you remember, in Q1 we got the guidance between 23,000 to 25,000 cars for the whole quarter, right? And so we could do the math and see like this would mean that we should expect between 11 to 13K. Now we have got the 12,000 and 961 vehicles, which is quite awesome. And let's look into the details. Because if you look at my Excel sheet here, you'll see that with this number, we're actually arriving at 25,059 cars for the entire quarter. So that is already a beat on the deliveries, will be very likely also a beat on the revenue guidance. And once again, it seems like the NIO guidance there is working more or less like a Swiss clock. It's very reliable lately, and I think that is also good for investor sentiment because frankly, that's what institutions are looking for, reliable growth. Where can I find that? Luckily, NIO is now getting into that, and now let's have a look at how this growth is kind of composed. So all in all, this has of course been a record delivery month for NIO. And who's the most contributing factors? Well, if we look at the ES6, it is around 5,000 vehicles, so that's close to where it has been in the past. And the ES8 is coming in at 1,700 vehicles, so we have been there also in April before. That's not the biggest number for this flagship, but still a quite good one, as this is a high average sales price vehicle. Then for the EC6, actually also quite modest number, but we can see, of course, the ET7 really is outstanding here with more than 4,000 cars delivered. And to be frank, I haven't expected that. I didn't think that they would deliver more than 2,000 ET7s there, but it seems like they are prioritizing it for now. Lots of people are, of course, anxiously waiting to get their ET7 delivered. Actually, if we look through some of the social media posts like I'm showing here, we can see that in the delivery centers, you could actually visibly see that the ET7 has kind of an overweight here. We can only speculate of why this would be the case, but the significance here is, I think, and I don't have the numbers to back it up right now, but from my experience, what I remember the numbers are in the competitors field, this should put the ET7 in the segment at least the top 5 in, if you compare it to Mercedes and BMW in the sedan segment of the premium to luxury class. This is quite a rise here for a brand that is not having this legacy, which is new, and delivering a very, very high-end product, which is coming, of course, at a very nice bang to bucks ratio, if you will. Like you get a lot for what you're paying for, but it's of course playing in the same league and same class as some of the German brands there. And so, well, is this maybe something of, where this whole NT 2.0 platform will show us in the future? Remember, we will now get the upgraded models in terms of the in-car experiences, so the upgraded chips, the upgraded cameras, the upgraded connectivity with the older models, the NT 1.0 platforms, and they will get delivered. And now we also get the ES7 coming, as well as the ET5 pretty soon. And of course, here the ET7 increasingly playing an important role. And so, yeah, this is a very, very competitive platform now with a very good in-car experience finally. That was one of the issues with the old models, right? And now that the old models also get upgraded before they finally get a facelift and also to the hardware upgrade to the NT 2.0 platform, I think this should ultimately help with a more consistent sales pipeline then also for these old models. And as always, I'm striving on this channel to bring you more than just reading the news and some additional insight. And so what I've done here again is adjusted those deliveries for the business days in China. So I'm trying to take out work holidays and also the weekends and make this comparable throughout time. And what we'll see here is that in April and May, of course, we had this huge dip because of the lockdowns, and now it is back up to more than 600 daily output if you do this kind of adjustment. So you'll see the dotted black line is this uptrend for the production increases and output of the factory over time. And it is right on track. Sometimes it's slightly under this line due to some circumstances like the lockdowns, but now we are overshooting it. So expect that this will revert back to the dotted line over time and grow from there, maybe even get more into a sort of exponential growth trajectory at some point in time, because remember, NIO is quite early in the S-curve of adoption. We are currently just in one factory. We have so many models on sharing on these different lines. I think this is also one of the reasons possibly why they have prioritized the ET7 in production, maybe scaled down a little bit on the ES8 there. This is just my observations. I could be wrong on that, but I do think that this could just and only get better once NIO Park is going into operation, and that should be in the next coming months. And then I'll expect the ES7 to be produced there, the ET5, and also the ET7 at some point in time, and maybe having the current factory focusing again on the NT 1.0 platform. And from that, I think they could possibly show some nicer growth numbers towards the end of the year. Although I have to say, based on the unexpected lockdown situation so far, I'm not sure if they can actually really meet the 100% year-over-year growth that I initially had going into this year, would be arriving at 190,000 vehicles roughly. I think for now that is really out of scope, but I'm happy to be pleasantly surprised, as I am surprised today, by those big ET7 numbers. This is a huge thing in my point of view. You know, you don't get and rise just into the top 5 in this certain segment out of nothing like this. And, you know, expect what the ET5 and the ES7 can do based on that. This is really looking quite promising there, but so far NIO has always not had this kind of continuously outperformance in terms of scaling up manufacturing. So I'm kind of staying reserved there and see what they can do. But just doing this back on the napkin calculations here, currently we're averaging at the monthly deliveries of 8,500 vehicles roughly. So that would bring us to annual revenues of 5.6 billion. It's of course much more likely that this will grow to an average beyond 12,000. We are currently with this 600 days daily output on an annualized rate of 150,000 vehicles already. And so those 8 billion annually figure is looking increasingly likely, could actually be well beyond that. And then if you see this in relation to where the share price is currently trading. So I have shown this graph before. Historically, NIO is now trading still at a level and a multiple where it used to be trading when it was actually at the verge of bankruptcy. And now, so this is an enterprise value to sales ratio, right? And as we're seeing, the sales are growing while the enterprise value has only come down since the last couple of months. Of course, there are macro issues and factors for that, but currently Chinese stocks are outperforming US stocks, and the multiples are expanding again because of the monetary policy and the growth expectations in China. And now on top of that, if the company on the fundamental side also keeps delivering like this, and yeah, just be still conservative on that. Let's see for the next couple of months. Let's see for the next guidance. But if they indicate that this has been, like the down for now, the bottom in terms of the lockdown problems and the low deliveries, then going forward, if this gives much higher certainty in the growth expectations, this will certainly be rewarded also with an expansion in the multiple, in my point of views. Let's see if that will be the case. That is just my current take for now. Let me know in the comments down below what I have missed with those deliveries. What is your personal take? Did you expect more? Are you maybe even disappointed, or are you happy with the results? Thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next one when I'll be possibly back in Berlin.